This video is about how to create a team or a group once your organization is already established. I first want to make mention that a team or a group, those are basically the same thing when we're talking about sports, teams, or fine arts groups. They're input the exact same way, so please don't get confused by the team/group. It will be, it's the same button no matter what you're doing with the software. So the first thing you want to do in creating a team or a group is you're going to click on the tab at the top, in the black. Now I'm going to come down here. I'm going to say add a new team. You probably won't have anything in here unless you've already got a team using it in your school. But so right here I'm going to say add a new team. So from here I'm going to say Actors Dance Team. So this is Actors Dance Team, and I'm going to say for the tagline, dance. Now this is going to be, we're going to, for this video, we're going to be putting on a program for this particular dance team. There's 4 different types of templates in here. There's just a single athletic game. There's an athletic season. The flexible program is for programs such as dance concerts, choir concerts, band concerts, anything that has specific program orders for songs that go one after the other. And of course, performing arts is just a play, for example. So in this case, our team is going to be as a dance team, so I'm going to use flexible program. The team type is a dance, and the organization I'm going to say Actors Youth Theater. From here, we want to create a logo for our team because that's what's going to show in the app. And so again, we want to make sure that this logo is a 1-to-1 aspect ratio. So for example, a 300 by 300 pixel, a 400 by 400 pixel, and that makes that logo come out just right. If you've already got one, would just say upload. And if it's in the media library, you choose it or not. You say upload files and select files, and then that goes to where you need to go to in order to find that file, and then it just uploads. So I'm not going to do that right now, but that's how to do that. This registration code is important. This is the code that ties any future members, if they log on to themselves, it ties to this specific team. So if I want to have the students go to the website and upload their own picture and their own bio, they would need this code in order to get into this particular team. So for right now, I'm going to say the code is Actors Youth Dance. And you want to make sure that this code is unique. Don't put anything in there like 1, 2, 3, 4 or something like that. Put in something that is going to be unique so there's no confusion down the road with somebody else from a different organization that may use 1, 2, 3, 4. So put in something that's unique to your team, but it's also easy for your team members to remember and to get in there. This button here is for emailing any updates to bios. You want to make sure that those bios are correct and there's nothing in there that you wouldn't want to have in there. And so if we say email the team administrators, then anytime that bio is changed, it's going to send the team administrator a notification to say, hey, something's changed. Do you approve this or not? So you want to email the team administrators or the organization administrator, just somebody that can make sure that, again, that those bios are correct and they say what you want them to say. And from there, we just say save. And from there, our team is created. This banner is going to come up. If you've already got team members in there, you can select this one, or if you want to just wait and add the code later, add the team members later, we're going to select this one. And so now we have our Actors Dance Team. Now, a couple things to point out. Up here in the top right corner is our team menu. From here, we can edit team details. We can manage team administrators. So if there's somebody else that you'd like to add as an administrator to help you with this specific team, you can add them as an administrator. Position groups. If I click on position groups, these are the buttons that come up on the app. Now, these are your different groups. So, for example, if you're doing a dance concert, and you've got class 1 and class 2 and class 3 and class 4, and they're all going to be performing in the same concert, this is where you want to differentiate those. So we want to say, we want to add a new group. So class 1. Class 1 is our new group. And I'm going to say class 2 is a new group. And class 3 is a new group. And then I'm going to say save. And so all of the students that are in those classes would go in here. And so as I'm looking through the app and I want to see who's in class 1, I would simply click on class 1 and it would take me to all of the students in that class. So from there, we can also go to positions. Positions are drilled down a little bit further. They can be a dancer, they could be a singer, it could be a choreographer, director, music director, anything that you want to put in here. And so I'm going to create a different one more in here. I'm just going to say dancer. Now, again, if it's a band, you can say percussion, you could say strings, you could actually say the tuba or whatever it is. So you can create as many of these as you want. So I'm just going to say save. And now I've created that position. So from here, again, your team is now set up as far as being ready to input members into that team. There are two different ways of inputting members into the team. The first is you can scroll down here and say add new team member. This page is going to come up. So if you want to add the members of your team by hand, by yourself, or you've got a student or staff member that wants to do this, then this is how they would do that. So you would add them. I'm going to add myself in here. And this is where you would upload the photo. Again, it's the same thing, 1-to-1 aspect ratio, so 300 by 300, 400 by 400. But as long as that picture is 1-to-1, it'll upload and look just right. If you've got their email address, you can put their email address in here. But if you don't, it'll automatically generate one. It's just part of the default. If this person that you're adding is just a standard member of the class, and they're going to be in different programs throughout the year or whatever, they're just going to be a standard member. A permanent global member is somebody such as your administration who is going to be in every program or every roster throughout the whole school, no matter what activity is doing it. If they're part of the organization, then these members are going to show up on the app. And again, it's more like for the administration. A permanent template member is somebody who's going to show up whenever this particular template is used. So if it's a choir, dance, or orchestra or band, this might be somebody like the fine arts faculty, for example, that you want to have show up at no matter when this template is used, and that prevents us to having to re-enter that information every time. They just automatically show up for this organization whenever that template is used. So the next thing we want to do is we want to select the position group. So I'm going to put myself in class 1, and I'm going to put myself as a dancer. And so on the app, it'll say class 1, and then it'll show me, and underneath it'll show what my particular position is. The next thing to do is if there are more positions, maybe I'm a choreographer as well. So I can add another position and say, maybe I'm a teacher. So you could add those positions as well. The next thing to do is, again, the bios. So if you have the bios and you just want to copy and paste them, this is where you do it. There's another way of getting those bios in, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But this is where you would put those bios. And then from here, you'd say save and add new member, or just simply save. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to save that. So now I am a member of this team. And so, the next thing I want to do is to explain how to get the members in if you've got a lot of members. If you've got a class of 150 and you don't want to put all of those members in by yourself, there's a very simple way of doing that as well. So I'm going to log out as myself. So the best way to do it is to simply have your students take out their phones in class. Ask them to log on to shindigprograms.com, and this screen will come up. So you'd say register user. They would click on register user. Now this is where that code comes in. Our code was AYD. So I type in AYD, and that's telling the software to look for that particular team. Your school may have a wrestling team, but they're going to have a totally different code than your dance team. Now I'll say go. It comes up and confirms actors dance team. That's where I want to go. I would say submit. Now I'm going to search for the name. I'm going to type in my name. So I typed in my name, and my name is there because I just already put that in. I don't want to duplicate that, so I would just click on my name, and it would go to my page. This again prevents duplications. If you've got somebody that's putting in the names already and maybe even the pictures, but you want the students to go into their own bios, this is how they would do that. They would log onto there, they would find their name and click on it. In this case, what I'm doing is I'm having the students upload their own bios and their own pictures. So I'm going to type in Susie Smith. Well, Susie Smith's not in there, so because we haven't put her name in. So it says my name is not here. Use to type name above. So I'm going to click on that and then say submit. So it's got Susie Smith. Now I'm just going to put my email address in. Just for the sake of argument, I'm going to confirm my password, and then I'm going to say submit. And I'm going to say submit. And I'm going to just change this email. Apparently that's already being used. So we'll try that one. There we go. Okay, so now this is my page from here on out. So I can click on this button and I can just upload my own picture right from my phone if I've got a selfie already there, or I could take a selfie and I can just upload that. And then down here I just type in my own bio, and it can be as long or as short as I want it to be, as you give them time for. And then we say save. So the information was uploaded correctly, and that's all they have to do. Now I'm going to log out, and I'm going to log back in as an administrator, and I'm going to select Teams, and I'm just going to search for, I've got actors dance team right here. I'm gonna manage dance team, and I'm going to actually search for, because we've got so many in there, I'm going to search for up here. I'm going to search for Susie and search, and there's Susie Smith right there. And so I can edit her, and I can do whatever I needed to do with that student as an administrator. Again, if she changes her bio, it will alert the administrator to make sure that nothing has changed inappropriately. So that's how to start your teams and get your members in there. There's, again, those two ways. You can do it by hand, by yourself, or you can have the students do it. It usually takes about 5 or 10 minutes to get the students on there, and then once they're on there, bringing them into an event is very, very easy, and that will be in the next video. Just something to remember, down here at the bottom, there's your help buttons. So this blue banner help you walk through all of the different steps. It knows where you're at, and so it'll walk through the very different steps. And you can always go up to the help button at the top.